Oh, we are live!
Hi, everyone. Welcome to new Game of Thrones live chat with me, Sandrine, Americ, and Kenny is here.
Kenny? You look different, Kenny. What did you change?
Is it the hair?
Is it the hair? It's something weird.
I went on a diet, first of all. Can you look at my muscle definition? It's pretty good these days, right?
Oh, my. Look at that. That's crazy muscle definition. How about you show the rest of your body?
I'm even whiter than I used to be.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Yay!
Yay! Kenny's here. We're about to talk some Game of Thrones. If you're watching us live, please make sure to leave any questions and comments in the chat box, and we will do our best to answer. And by we, I mean mostly Kenny, because we don't know jack about. We have thoughts. We have thoughts. We have opinions. We matter. But
That's why we repeat ourselves.
But Kenny, we wanted before we jump into the questions, we wanted to just sort of like hear what's the latest and greatest in the Game of Thrones grapevine.
Well, the latest and greatest on the grapevine are two slightly spoilery things. So as we usually do, we're like, all right, people, if you hate spoilers, leave the room for about 5 minutes. And then come back because
I say 7 minutes because Kenny tends to talk a little longer.
Oh, that's wow.
The last time it was.
Last
time it was like about 5 to 7 minutes. Usually we come and do this.
Anyways, moving on. So once we're done, we're just gonna do this, and then you can
just give me hand signals.
Yeah,
just mute it.
Just mute it.
You're gonna lay me off with music, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah.
All right.
Leg up.
Okay, so two items of newsworthy. There's probably newsworthy and spoilery. They're still filming this next season of Game of Thrones. They're eking every inch of winter there is to be had out of the wintry parts of the world.
Yeah.
Just about a week ago, Maisie Williams, Arya Stark, was in Canada filming in the snow. We assume, although we don't have any pictures or videos. So but why would she go to Canada if it wasn't to film in the snow, right? Mm-hmm. Not only was she there, but she was there with a massive pack of wolves. Ooh. Arya uniting with wolves. Yes.
Yes.
Wolves are back.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I think no, I forgot who her direwolf's name.
Yeah, what was her direwolf's name?
Nymeria Gloves.
Nymeria, yeah. Everybody was wondering about her possibly coming back. So.
I have a feeling that we will see Nymeria again, probably large sized, and probably accompanied by a massive pack of regular wolves. Be like couldn't you see it? Just like you see through the trees, you see, Arya, and there's an army facing Arya, and the army's like, yeah, you and what army? And Arya's like, I have an army. And then the camera pans over, right? And you see one wolf and 2 wolves and 5 wolves and 30 wolves. And I can't wait to see a scene that I don't even really know if they filmed it that way. But in my head, that's how it's playing out.
And
you're gonna be so disappointed if they don't do that. You're gonna be like, no!
Where are my wolves? Right. It'll just be.
What if it's a dream sequence?
It could be that too.
You still get to see it, right?
It's just Arya making snow angels, and that's it. The wolves were there coincidentally. Although another bit of interesting, information here is the wolf that plays Ghost was on location. So we might have Ghost go to meet Nymeria. Maybe Jon orders him there or something. I don't know. Maybe Jon's there. Although we did not have news of Kit Harington in Canada. Only Maisie Williams sightings, and it was multiple sightings. So we think she was there solo.
Wow. Those guys don't even have a life anymore. Everywhere they go.
No.
We see you. We know what you're doing here.
Well, yeah,
it's winter. You're shooting something.
Maisie grew up on the show, so
for sure.
She remembers young childhood and Game of Thrones, and that's it. Those
It's
are her
like the
memories.
Harry Potter kids all over again.
Yeah, basically. Well, it hasn't, other than Ron Weasley, who hasn't really had a career, it hasn't really done badly for the others. Second tidbit. Wow, I think this has already gone over 7 minutes. So, Sandrine, you may be right about my ability to prolong things. So there was a
The
recent
second
interview.
tidbit is not as bad, though, right?
Now, and this is one of those take it with a grain of salt kind of things, but there was a recent interview with Nikolai Coster-Waldau, Jaime Lannister, in which he addressed some fans' theories on how Jaime and Cersei may die, i.e., Jaime killing Cersei, him being the Valanquar, which is it's a book term, basically means there is a prophecy saying the younger brother will kill you. And she thinks it means Tyrion, but a lot of people think it means Jaime. Well, Nikolai does not believe that that is going to happen. And he said he thinks it's too convenient for her to go out that way, taken out by Jaime. And then he sort of backed that up by saying, but we'll see, I don't even know. So if he's telling the truth, and, he's an actor, so they may stretch the truth. But if he's telling the truth, that means Jaime and Cersei probably survived this season. I mean, that's something, right?
See, my thing when you talked about it is that I thought he probably said something trying to be like, well, I don't think this, and then try to cover it up like, but I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, anybody can go either way. Like, no idea.
Right. And
I'm like,
he's an actor. He's paid to lie, and and Nick knows the game. Okay, he's been around the block a few times, so yeah, they may be toying with us, but I was like 98% sure that it was going to be this season, and at the end of this season, Jaime would take out Cersei. But now I'm only like, after his interview, like 73% that that's going to happen. I don't know.
I think I've always kind of thought that he wouldn't be the one to do it. So I don't know.
I never thought. I think he might have considered it, but I don't think he would.
I think you thought he would. We should rewatch our old videos and see what we thought.
I don't remember that. Kenny thought.
I still think.
Yeah.
Darn it.
No, not me. I think I wanted to not be him. I just wanted to be someone like, I don't know, Arya or even Daenerys.
Maybe it's
or something.
Arya wearing the face of one of the little brothers, so she's technically the little brother, but not really.
I mean, I get that, but I think Arya's getting too many kills. Like, is she going to kill everybody? Because I still think she's going to kill Melisandre. Because Melisandre said, "I will see you again," and then Arya said, "Yeah, I'm going to stick a sword through your eye." So that's probably going to happen. And I mean, she's already killed Walder Frey. How many kills does Arya get? Save some kills for the other characters, Arya.
That's funny. Someone in the chat, actually, Becca Gorham, says bets on how many main characters Arya will kill this season.
What's the baseline? What are we starting at? 3?
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of the chat, let's jump into the comment section and say hello to a bunch of folks coming from all over the place.
Hold on. Why would we want to speak to nerds, first of all?
Because you are one.
I've been trying to hide this, Americ. Guess I'm out of the closet.
Yeah, cool story, bro. Heath Marshall asks, if you had to pick anyone to sit on the Iron Throne, who would you all pick? Could be anyone alive, dead, or even a White Walker. Go.
Okay, well, for the good of the Game of Thrones world, I think it would either have to be Daenerys or Jon Snow, right? Just in terms of like the best ruler, I think. But if you want to think outside of like the original, I don't know how to think about it. You? Oberyn. It should be Oberyn.
Okay, someone's still on the Oberyn bandwagon. Need to chill with that. No, I'm still on Littlefinger. I know his chances have diminished quite a bit, but he got me with the chaos is a ladder speech. So since then, that's it. That's a wrap. But what about you? What about you?
I would love that dark Littlefinger ending. It would just please the punch out of me. I I don't think it will happen. I just don't think he just doesn't have the support. He hasn't made enough friends, you know, and friends do count for something. But most likely, here's the caveat, if there is an Iron Throne, because my belief is at the end of this, there will not be an Iron Throne. I think it's going to be a relic that is tossed aside, and I think there will be 7 kingdoms, or maybe even 9 kingdoms, or 8 kingdoms, or something that will be probably autonomous. Mm-hmm. But if there is a united nation, then I'm going to go with my hope would be Sansa, Queen Sansa, with her hound bodyguard by her side. But I would think it's going to be a Jon Daenerys marriage of convenience, not of love.
Got it. So that's kind of like, but is that your fantasy sort of like pick?
My fantasy is Sansa.
Sansa.
Queen Sansa, first of her name. That's who I want to win. I mean, my favorite character is Theon, but I don't want him ruling anything. I just love him. And Alfie is awesome. But Sansa being my second favorite character, yeah, I would love for that to be her ending arc. Her ruling everyone would be just so cool.
It would look really good, for sure. Yeah. She's very regal. Next question from Trenton O'Brien. Yara Greyjoy, will she die? Is she gonna make it? I don't think so. I mean, realistically speaking, there's just a lot of, with Euron pissed off, she's in a precarious position, not a lot of support.
We know she gets captured, and we saw some screenshots actually of her being shackled and pulled behind a horse. So so we know she's captured. My theory is that she does die, but she goes out heroic as fuck. Just heroic to the max. I think she takes out a number of people. I kind of want a Daenerys Yara affair before that happens, though. Just, you know.
That would be interesting. I mean, unlikely. Although Daenerys is, you know, she's free. She's available.
They're both available. So why not?
You never know. All right. Moving on to the next question. Mia is asking, who do you think will get a happy ending? That just came off weird. But anyways, ultimately, who's gonna have a happy ending in all of this? Who do you expect to come out on top? No one.
Oh, happy.
It's no one. Get it? No, anyways, no one gets it.
Yeah, I get it.
Jesus.
I did not get it.
Oh yeah, it took you a second.
No one.
No one? Anyone?
Yes.
Come on.
You know what? That's a good. You know what, Americ? That's a good candidate, actually, for the House of Black and White to be on top when this whole thing is over. I would put money on the House of Black and White being large and in charge. But as far as characters, Happy is really Hot Pie. I could say Hot Pie's going to remain happy because he's Hot Pie, and who would want to hurt Hot Pie? Jon Snow, I think, is living through the rest of the series, and I think he is going to be victorious in some fashion, even at the end. Whether that's as a ranger, whether that's as king, I don't think he can be a ranger. I think he's destined to be the king now. So I think he will rule some aspect. It may just be the North, but you know, maybe the whole shebang as well. So happy for Jon. He may grimly smile at us at the end of the series. But yeah, I don't think Dany will have such a happy ending, because I think, as Sandrine predicted, I think one of her dragons is probably destined to go down in flames, if not literally, then figuratively. So, yeah.
Yeah. Next question again from let's actually address this one real quickly. Alien O'Kelly is asking, when's GOT out? We don't know.
No one knows.
No one knows. All right, that's the point.
The fact that they're still filming as of a week ago is, I would say, it's slightly disturbing.
Yeah. I think. Yeah.
Let's say.
I think, as Americ says, we have, what is it? Waiting fatigue.
Like, I'm just tired of waiting. I don't care if they say September, October of this year. I just want a date, you know? I just want an approximate date. Give me a month.
I'm going to say this year.
Yo, this year does not count.
This year.
Not count.
Definitely this year.
It's like, it's coming out December 30th.
Oh,
2017. It's still this year.
Still this year.
You know, I could see them saying, now that winter is here, let's show it in the winter time. I could see that.
Oh God.
That's true. I mean, in a way, it kind of, I can see how it would work, because yeah, like if you're watching it in the summer and they're in the winter, you're like, well, I'm not really feeling the cold, you know. But if you watch Game of Thrones and it's winter and it's cold outside, I don't know.
No, I just want it as soon as possible. I don't care if it's like burning heat outside. No, I just want it now.
I would love to see a teaser sometime soon.
Yeah.
Even if they don't announce it, just give me some more footage, man.
Yeah.
Give me something. I need my fix.
Next question from Trenton O'Brien. Will there be another shadow demon in season 7? And if so, who will it kill?
Well,
I don't know.
No, but if it did, if she did produce another shadow, well, okay, here's the thing. Here's my caveat. I don't believe there will be another shadow demon via Melisandre. There may be another one via a different red priestess, because if she can do it, why can't someone else? And so then you'd have to say it would have to be an enemy of, because they're backing the red priests are backing Daenerys right now.
Yeah.
So maybe Euron gets taken out. That would be, I mean,
as he's on his way.
It would be cool is if they went after Euron with a shadow baby and it failed. Like he was able to do something with some weird shit that just made it disappear or something. Then I would.
But I feel like they haven't established. I mean, I know like he's supposed to have the horn or something, right? For like a dragon horn, is it? Or no?
Yeah.
Something like that.
The horn that controls dragons?
Yeah.
Well, I don't. They haven't.
Well, I'm just saying. Some people say, "Oh, maybe he has this and that." And I was like, I feel like they haven't really established that in the show. So to just kind of pull out, like, "Oh, by the way, I have this thing that controls dragons." I don't know. I feel like in Game of Thrones, usually when they haven't had time to establish something, they generally don't go that direction.
My issue with the whole shadow demon is that fundamentally it's OP as hell, right?
Yes.
And the only sort of like, first of all, when you use it and it's that effective, why don't you ever use it again, right?
Right.
That's another question, right? Like, why was it only used that one time? Is it possible that it can only be used once? You know, like, and if so, why not establish that? And why not say it? So you know, okay, well, Melisandre can't use it, but we know this other group of people maybe potentially could use it. Right. So it's one of those things that didn't quite, I mean, it was cool scene and everything, but it was OP. And it was to the point where if you don't have a good explanation for it, it just ends up being like the smoke monster in Lost, right? Like that's the best explanation I can give you. It's like, there's this weird thing that this character can do, and that's it. That's all, folks. That's all we're going to say about it. You know, you have to like delve into it a little bit more. Otherwise, it's just, you know, it's there for the convenience of the story, for story convenience more than this is a legitimate thing that needs to happen.
Right.
Yeah. Let us move on to our next question from, why am I using an accent? Spangle Bob. Do we think Jon is Azor Ahai or someone else? And do you think we're going to see the prophetic resemblances, i.e. Lightbringer, Nissa?
Well, Nissa is a story from the book. Azor Ahai was the original hero, the great hero of light, whatever you want to call him, who banished the darkness and all this stuff. And he did it. He created the sword Lightbringer by plunging his sword into the breast of his beloved wife, Nissa, and killing her, basically sacrificing, kind of an Abraham kind of sacrifice, except he actually went through with it. sacrificed his wife in order to create this magical sword. That's from the books. I haven't seen the kind of this. To me, I think the series is more grounded in kind of a more of a realistic thing. So I don't think they'd suddenly go, suddenly John is Azor Ahai and he's going to take his sword. And I mean, unless they then establish the story early on in this season, like we saw early on 2 seasons ago, they had that one Cersei flashback, right? Where they had Cersei as a young girl and there was a prophecy and blah, blah, blah. That helped to establish something. So unless they bring it up, I would say even it'd have to be really early in this season for it to then pay off at some later date. I don't see them doing it. Do I think he's actually Azor Ahai reborn? No, I don't think any of the magical prophecies actually mean anything. I think they're all just things that are seen in visions that are interpreted differently by different people. And so you have people who fervently believe it, but it's more of the belief that drives the power rather than vice versa.
Got it. Next, actually, kind of a comment from Mohammed Meski. I hear there's many Knights King, not just one. Thoughts?
Does he mean the show or in the books? I don't know.
Well, in the show. I mean, the books, I don't think it's ever been established. There was only just that one, right? Well,
technically, on the show, there's 2 Knights Kings because 2 different actors have played the Knights King. But, other than that, no. I think there's one Knights King, and I think he has his close-knit group of friends who are White Walkers. And, I think he is the big bad as far as that goes. I don't think there's going to be multiple Knights Kings. No, I don't believe that.
I love how you're like, he has his close group of friends, the White Walkers, like the buddies.
Like, they chill out. They chill out on Sundays,
to go kill people and turn them into whites. Why not?
Yeah. I'm actually like, I'm wondering and I'm hoping that we see more of the life, because at some point I think that we had not the last season, I think the season before, where we saw them, make the baby into a White Walker. White Walker. Like that was the first time we saw like a lot, like the rituals and being amongst themselves. I want to see.
That was mind blowing because book readers we hadn't even gotten that in the books. We were like, "Wow, that's what they do! Holy shit!" Yeah, I mean,
so I want to see more of that.
I would love to see that. Wouldn't it be cool to see like a angsty preteen White Walker, like, take away his ice sword. Take it away for a week. He can't use his ice sword for a week.
Where are the younger White Walkers?
Yeah,
because, they
that's
have
a
to
question.
grow up. We still don't know.
That's a question.
Right.
Next question, Trenton O'Brien. What will Qyburn be doing in season 7? Who will he be building? What monster will he be putting together?
Well, I think he'll be managing the monster he built. But that's a good question. Does he have an arc? Anton Lesser, who plays Qyburn, I really like him as an actor. I think he'd be too. Then I don't know if he's very demanding of an actor. Like I don't think he says, "Give me meteor stuff." He's sort of just this quiet guy that does his job. But that said, he's skilled, so I would use him for something, some sort of arc. But I have no idea. I mean, we know he's in one scene because he was seen on set. But they're filming a lot of stuff this year inside, probably against green screen and stuff like that. We have not had nearly as many outdoor scenes, I think, as in previous seasons. We've had outdoor sightings. We've had cast sightings in different areas, but then it's just sort of disappeared, and we haven't had that many, filming scenes. Other than the one Gendry fight on the beach, I think, is the most significant one we've seen.
Gendry's back! Gendry's back! Next question. Alien O'Kelly is asking, what do you think will happen with Valyrian steel this season? I think Sam will find a way to make it. Well, to make swords from to make
Valyrian steel.
You don't make it. It exists, no? You don't. Do you make it?
Yeah, you forge it. I think she's right. Good comment. That's a theory that I've read about that Sam because what's he going to do with his sword? He's not a swordsman, so he's got his father's sword. What does he do with it? Well, maybe he breaks it down to its basic elements and builds it back up, right? I mean, he's kind of he's a scholarly guy, so maybe he could figure out how to do something like that, and that would be way cool. Samuel Tarly learned how to forge Valyrian steel. That would be badass. Go Sam.
Go Sam. Next question. Well, this is less of a question, more of something we can sort of like estimate. When can we expect the trailer, and who will use Heartsbane? So let's start with the trailer. I know we don't obviously know when it's coming back, but usually is it like a month before it starts airing?
No. They usually go like 3 months before. Or at least a teaser. They'll give us a teaser. We'll see something. Yeah. We'll be like, oh, and then we'll be waiting for months.
April, May or something.
April, May. Yeah. If they're aiming for this summer, it's April, May. For the trailer. Now, Heartsbane.
Heartsbane is Samuel's sword, or his father's sword rather. There will be a point that's got to come to a head at some point because we know, spoilery, that his dad switches sides and joins the Lannisters rather than the people who he's supposed to support, which are the Tyrells. Although the Tyrells are virtually decimated now, but I mean Highgarden still has rulers, and the Queen of Thorns is still kicking. So, but we know that that Randall Tarly basically turns against them and sides with the Lannisters, but I don't know if we've seen any scene where he's shared it with Sam yet. So I don't, or even if they're in the same area. So that would be, but that's got to come to a head at some point. He's got to. But asking what could become of Heartsbane, I think maybe Sam, maybe Randall comes back for his sword. Where's my sword? And he goes, well, Dad, it's in that bucket and that bucket and that bucket and it's over there. Oh, and we made a knife.
Actually, did I say who he was from? The question was Rakesh Sharma. Sorry if I didn't. Caitlin Lewis is asking, who do you think Sansa will end up with?
Romantically?
Yeah, I assume. Yes.
Anyone? Maybe she doesn't end up with anyone.
Maybe, yeah. I mean,
bad marriages.
Well, she does know that marriages, can be a powerful tool. She's had bad luck with marriages so far, so there may be a point where she's like, I don't really need the things that come with a marriage. I'm just going to solo this. Again, in my heart of hearts, I wouldn't have her take a husband, have the Hound as a guard, and maybe, sleep with him a few times on the side when she's an adult. Sophie's 21, but I don't know how old they're saying Sansa is, if they're going year by year or whatever. Some of the Sansan things, they verge on the sort of weird pedophilia stuff that, squeaks me out. But some people, when they write the Sansan, because there's plenty of Sansa, anyone just Google Sansan fanfic, and you'll come up with all kinds of very interesting things on the internet. Don't do it, Sandrine. Don't do it. I saw you for that button.
Don't ship it.
Don't ship it. But some of them, I've read some that are like, it's years later. Sansa's an adult. She's a lady in the north, or sometimes even queen, and she takes him into her. She makes him a knight, because that's the thing. And Sandor is always, he's a great character. He dreamed when he was a little boy. He dreamed of being a knight. He borrowed his brother's toy knight to play at being a knight, which is what got his face half burned off. So he's always had this ideal of chivalry in his mind, and he's always been very protective of Sansa and even Arya. So I could see a scenario in which she is High Lady or Queen, and he is the head of her Queen's Guard. And, maybe a romance strikes up from there. I know plenty of Sansan shippers who would die with joy over that. They don't even need them to be married. They would just want some sort of spark to flare up. And there's plenty of hints in the books that it could go there. But again, in the book, Sansa is even significantly younger. So it would have to be one of those things where George is like, 8 years later, Might take him 8 years to type those words too.
Oh God! Oh, burn!
Sorry. No, George, I love you, but you're a slower writer than me, and I'm really slow. So, what can I say?
There's a question that just popped out that I thought was kind of cool. Hector Zeroni asked, "Do you think we will see any other mythical creatures like giant spiders?" Ew. That's
Yes.
part of the comment.
They've already name dropped the giant spiders in season 1. At some point, hopefully this season, wouldn't that be cool? We'll see spiders as big as hounds come out of the woods.
Like the spiders in Harry Potter.
No, why are you saying that like it's cute? No,
They're not cute in Harry
not
Potter.
cute.
I'm just saying.
Ugh.
Connection, you know, you're connecting.
Sandrine, you are strange.
Yes, you are. Next question. Greg is asking, do you think Daenerys can go mad and Jon teams up with the White Walkers to defeat her? I don't think so.
Well, that would be kind of cool.
No, hold on. I believe Daenerys can go mad.
Yeah.
I don't believe that Jon is going to team up with the White Walkers because I don't think the White Walkers.
You know, there's a theory out there that says that Jon is actually, you know, his end game is to be the hero of ice, and that Daenerys is the hero of fire, and that's how they fight each other. I don't know that I want to believe that. I think he'd have quite a. I mean, we only have 13 episodes left. How are you going to turn him around to his current position? King in the North is to be king in the far north, and then a White Walker at that. Or maybe he's not a White Walker. I don't know.
He could be made into a Night's King.
No, that would be cool.
That would be cool. Like I'm not mad at that idea.
No, it's a nihilistic outlook, but I approve.
Yeah, I'm feeling dark. I love it.
Yes,
I love it. Next question.
There's too much joy in the world, Americ. We need to bring more darkness.
Let's snuff it out. Indranil Potness is asking, do you think what do you think will happen once it gets out that Jon and Dany are related after they get married, if they do get married?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's a problem for Daenerys since, you know, Targaryens did marry their brothers and sisters, so.
Right.
But that's like what, uncle and...
Yeah, she's his aunt.
Yeah. Aunt and nephew, yeah. Yeah, I guess there wouldn't be a problem. I don't think Game of Thrones really has problems with that in general. I'm just going to put it out there. It's not a showstopper. Let's see. Trenton O'Brien's asking, the Winterfell crypt scenes in season 7, what would they be about? I'm not sure what that means.
Well, we know that they were shooting in the areas that they did shoot the usual crypt scenes. So one would then take that to mean that there are more Winterfell crypt scenes. It's sort of the cool place for people to meet in secret. They either do it in the Godswood or they do it in the crypts. So I would say probably a secret meeting of some sort. Sansa currently controls the castle. I don't know why she would need to use it to meet somebody in secret, but possible. Maybe Littlefinger again sneaks. If he leaves her company for a while, maybe he gets banished or something. I mean, something's gonna happen. You saw the wheels turning in his skull at the end of this last season, and he was giving meaningful looks to Sansa. So it's not gonna, the fact that Jon took her rightful place because she has the better claim than Jon. I'm just saying. I mean, not if you factor in the Targaryen thing, but as far as Starks go, she should have been proclaimed Queen in the North rather than King in the North. But that's a quibble. Technically speaking, the only people who have a right to be king or queen of anything are the people with the might to hold that position with power. So who has a claim to anything, really? Did the Targaryens have a claim when they roared across the sea and took everything with fire and blood? No, they had the power to do so.
Yeah.
There's a cool sort of comment that kind of goes off of Dany and Jon marrying. Giorgio Corrado says Dany should marry Gendry.
Oh,
Because,
yeah. So
he's like,
you would
Baratheon.
solidify the Baratheon line with although the Baratheons, the reason that Robert even had a claim, and the reason they rose up and he had a claim was the Baratheons have intermarried with the Targaryens for years, and so Baratheons do have some Targaryen blood in them, which is why he's like, I have a claim. When again, in reality, you don't really have a claim. You just have a very big warhammer and a belligerent nature. So, yeah.
Sometimes that's all it takes.
Right.
It would be cool. And there's another interesting question that I don't think I've ever
really
had anyone ask that from Mia. Do you think there will be a time jump in the last episode of the series? As in like 10 years later?
Most epic series tend to do that. You see that at the end of Harry Potter.
Right, yeah. Spoilers.
A friend of mine has this she hates that ending. Well, you know Bella, she does my music, right?
Right.
She hates that trope. And she'll end a conversation with someone saying it should end with, and she'll go, and babies. Like, that's the worst thing in the world, right? And babies. Harry Potter ended with babies. Of course it did. And of course, that people tend to want to look to the next generation. Oh, who's the who if so and so hooked up, what would their child look like, or who would this person grow up to be, blah blah blah. So it's sort of, probably as a storyteller, it's hard to resist the and babies ending, but yeah.
See, I guess I didn't see it as like and babies. I thought more of like a year later kind of thing. Like maybe it's battle and everybody looks like they're dead, or maybe just one, and then it's a year later, like how did certain things turn out?
I would like that. A darker version than the and babies ending of Harry Potter. I saw what Harry Potter was doing. Spoiler alert, they were sending the new generation of Potters and Weasleys off to Hogwarts. It comes full circle. I saw that for what it was, but I don't think we would have the same sort of thing with Game of Thrones. It's too dark. But I would love a time jump. It would be, I think, a really cool way to sort of, it would be one of those things that would end certain discussions of certain things. If they were to time jump, they could answer a lot of questions just by saying, he's here, she's there, he's dead, she's there, he married him, and blah, blah, blah.
All right, so let's move on to the next question. Sinjis Palabik is asking, do you think there are any giants left?
Oh, so was 1-1 the last of the giants? That's a good question. I mean,
I would think
yes,
so.
I think so. I want to say yes, because again, you could do this jump forward at the end of the series where, you have giants working hand in hand with the Starks or whoever to rebuild part of the wall, because the wall's coming down.
Yeah.
It's got to. So maybe you have then giants coming in at the end. So we find out. That's what I would do if I were writing it. They've mentioned a couple times that there are very few giants, and that some people are like, oh, Mag the Mighty was the last giant. Oh, 1-1, maybe he was the last giant. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe there are other giants out there, and then they bring them back. I would hope so. I hope that 1-1 was not truly the last giant.
Yeah. Next question, Lord Mez. Do you think that there could be two hands, one for the king and one for the queen?
Ooh, that it seems like that would be a very competing kind of.
Yeah.
If you had two hands, then you've basically got two guys who would almost naturally, or girls, got whoever has made the hand, they'd be almost naturally positioned to work against each other. So I could. I mean, what would they do? The holding hands? No, I don't see that. I see, again, one hand. If there is a hand, there will be a hand. The hand is. They made such a big deal of it when Tyrion was given his pin from Daenerys this last season. You could tell it affected him deeply. So they made too big of a deal of it, I think, to just say, oh, there weren't any more hands. So yeah, we'll get a hand of somebody, but I don't think a queen will have a hand, and then a king will have a hand, and then then what? It's like they're both going about doing different things.
He says checks and balances.
No, checks and balances in a marriage? Do you want checks and balances in a marriage? I mean,
let's not get into that one.
This could give me more power, actually.
Let's try to catch up with other questions in the comments here. Trenton O'Brien is asking, what do you think will happen when Tyrion finds out who killed his niece? His niece?
Yeah, his Marcella.
Oh, it's the how did
Sand snake.
Yes.
Sand snakes.
Well,
yeah, that's a good question, because he was very close to Tommen and Marcella. He loved those kids. He loved everyone but Joffrey, really. So
and now aren't they allied too through Daenerys?
Yes, and now they are allied. Although, who knows? The Sand Snakes kind of seem to be playing their own game, and they have no real claim to Dorne, really, unless they're going to start. This is again the difference between the books and the series. In the books, you have a princess, an actual princess of Dorne, who could legitimately be the power in Dorne if Doran Martell dies, which he has not yet in the books. But in the show, there was no princess. There was just Doran and his son, and they're both dead. And then all these bastard snakes who, wouldn't have any right to any Dornish throne. The fact that they're women means nothing. The fact that they're bastards means everything. So, at least in Dorne.
Question from Joshua Warwick: will the Stark girls survive?
Sansa, yes. Arya, no. That's my prediction.
Ooh, I'm willing to go there.
I've long maintained that Arya lives until the very last episode of the very last season, and then once all the work is done and the killing is finished, then she will die. And George's wife Paris will leave him because she has threatened to do so if Arya ever dies. So that's also something to look forward to. But right, no.
There's also an interesting question from Lord Nez, who said, could Jon have a dragon egg in the crypt? Because the Targaryens will give their babies dragon eggs.
Oh. Wow. That means
that means Ned. So when Ned brought him back from the Tower of Joy,
right? Could they have hid his dragon egg somewhere?
They hid a hat. I'm going to say no. There's a different theory. It's cool, right? There's a different theory though that says that that there is a white dragon that is hidden underneath the wall.
Yeah.
That might get wakened. George wrote a story that was in Westeros that was called The White Dragon, and it was about a winter dragon, a snow dragon, sort of like this one. Yes. Yes.
Are you an Ice Dragon fan, Kenny?
I love elements and dragons. You guys know my world that I build and create. Dragons are basically sort of birth of the land, and so they are representative of the area that they are in. So if you're in the tundra, it's going to be of the tundra. If it's in the jungle, it's going to be jungle-like and able to thrive in the jungle. If it's in a volcano, then it's going to breathe fire and be immune to fire. So they're adaptable to anywhere, and they evolve very quickly. But that's just my world. It's not necessarily the world of George R. Martin.
Caitlin Lewis has a question. Where are the female White Walkers?
I've been asking. I'm just curious. Do they have female? Is it just do they not have a gender, or I don't know?
But okay, remember, if we when the babies were being taken to the White Walkers,
only men.
Only men, right?
Male, yeah.
Only males. Now, is it just by convenience, they just want male, or is it because those are the only ones that can be transformed?
Yeah, see, it's not clear. Right? I don't know.
But we've seen whites that were female,
right?
Yeah,
but not White Walkers.
That's like a zombie, though. I mean, gender doesn't matter. We've seen horses that are whites.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. it's a pretty major deviation between the show and the books, because in the books, the Night's King is based off of a story of, he's supposedly a Stark who was one of the commanders on the Wall, and it said that he loved a woman who was he met a woman who was white as snow, with hair like falling crystals or something like that. They really poeticed it out, but it's basically, the story is basically of a dude falling in love with a female White Walker, and she was like the first. So that's a difference right away between the show and the books, because the books has this first female mythological creature that this man laid with, and that thus, I suppose, birthed the White Walkers. And the show has, as they showed us, a very different origin. Although we don't know, again, in the books, that story could just be a story, and the actual creation of White Walkers may actually mirror closer to what we've seen in the show. But boy, I can't wait for George's next book in like 4 years when it hits the stores.
Ronald Monte has a question asking, or just like a comment. He thinks that Arya will kill Littlefinger while wearing Sansa's face, pretending to be married to him.
Oh, that would be so cool, wouldn't it?
That would be pretty cool, right?
Again, we're giving Arya a lot of kills.
Why would she want to kill Littlefinger?
Well, who knows what he's going to be up to next season.
That's true. I mean, why?
Well, no, but not right. But he's saying if at that point Sansa is married to him, then there might be a reason for her to. Maybe it's like a plan that they come up together.
That's possible, but the whole face thing is also OP. So I'm all about, like,
Well, I feel like Littlefinger is not as major as Cersei, so it might be okay to give that one to Arya versus like Cersei, which might be different.
It's possible.
They gotta use it at least one more time.
All right, let's do some quick hits so that we can catch up with some of the comments and cover as many as we can. All right, Alien O'Kelly, what do you think will happen with the dragons in Westeros? What do you think?
Well, I think we had said, like, in our prediction for season 7, or at least what we want is, we think that Drogon will probably be taken down because since he's the most powerful of all of them, we kind of need to bring it back to a level where they're going to be able to fight, or it's not so easy for them to die. And he'll probably be like, I hope he's going to become like a White Walker dragon, like Ice Dragon, something like that.
Ice Dragon time.
So that's how I think we're going to get the Ice Dragon, not that he's in the wall.
All right.
Kenny,
your thoughts?
Well, I actually think Drogon will die, but I think if a dragon is made to serve the White Walkers, I think it will be one of the lesser dragons, and I think possibly Drogon will go down in flames to take that dragon out. I think it would be a huge blow to Daenerys to lose him, but I agree, you sort of need to neuter her a little bit, because she's so friggin' OP right now. But that's what they're setting up. I mean, you look at the last shot. They're like, oh, and Daenerys has all the cards, and Cersei's evil Black Queen, but, she's screwed because here comes Daenerys with every card in the deck stacked. So she's got to have that whittled away. But again, only 13 episodes. How much whittling is going to happen? Yes, my prediction, one of the other dragons is turned into a wagon, a white dragon? Wagon? What are we going to call it?
a wagon.
It's a wagon.
Alien O'Kelly is asking.
I think Drogon will do something super sacrificial and heroic, but I think she will lose Drogon.
So sad.
What can you do? Too powerful, man.
We're not there yet. Chill.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's why when Americ said it, I was like, yeah, it makes sense. He is too powerful. He's too powerful.
You gotta go. Alien O'Kelly is asking, what do you think will happen with Lady Stoneheart in the TV show? I think Sansa will somehow become Lady Stoneheart. I think we dropped that storyline. No.
It's interesting. Arya could. I think Arya now. I was of the belief that Sansa could play that role before last season, but seeing Sansa's current role, I think suddenly having Sansa join with the Brotherhood without banners, it's almost a step down. Whereas Arya, it would make sense for her to join up with them because, you know, maybe Gendry's with them again, and there's all sorts of things going on with that. And that would be kind of cool to have her sort of play this role of hanging people. I don't know that Arya is much for hanging people, though, so I kind of agree with the fact that I don't think Stoneheart is a necessary tool anymore. If we had maybe 3 seasons still on the dockets, I would say, yeah, let's explore that. But again, I keep saying this, and I'm like a broken record. 13 episodes. Think in your head, how many things have to happen in those 13 episodes to wrap up all the stories that we got going on? There's still a number of things.
Yeah, you can't really bring in a lot of new things in here.
Right.
Next question actually was asked by two folks. That's Trenton O'Brien and A Theory of Fire and of Ice and Fire. Right. Why do you think the White Walker spared Sam? Blood Raven? I don't know what Blood Raven was referring to exactly.
You know, I put forth a theory a while back that nobody listened to because it's probably a stupid theory, but I'm going to stick behind it because it's my theory, damn it. Every time you see somebody spared by the White Walkers, they're kneeling to them. In the very first episode, the very first scene, you have the White Walk or the Night's Watchman going beyond the wall, and they encounter the White Walkers, and you have the one dude, Will, who is at the end he gets the guy's head chucked at his feet, and he's like, you're like, oh, that dude's dead now, and he drops to his knees, right? Well, the next thing you know, he's past the wall, he's running away. Ned Stark's people catch him, and he gets his head chopped off, you know, all that stuff. He was kneeling. Yes. Sam also on his knees when the White Walkers came to them. He said, they're like, oh, all right, kneeling, so good to go. Continue on, gentlemen.
That's crazy. I never thought about that.
Right? So it's like a ceremonial thing. They're like, kneel to us. But you'd think they learn to like have a sign or something. They don't speak the common tongue, but maybe they could hold a sign that says kneel or die or something. I don't know. It's what I would do if I were a White Walker. I'd get the message out. If you kneel, we will spare you kind of thing. But
it just made me think of kneel before Zod. Kneel before the White Walkers, the Night's King, and you will be spared. That's a good message to have. Sandrine, you have a question?
Next question from Juan Francisco Sanchez Ferris. There has always been a huge human factor throughout the show. Great plans and strategies have succeeded. Do you think this is going to change? Has the show become a fight between ice and fire?
I think we're going to see the human factor remain, because just to go away from that and go pure, you know, Lord of the Rings, battles of armies with no personality attached, I don't think they'd do that. That said, they've sort of upped the ante so much that if we don't have a magical battle in this sky of dragons and White Walkers and Bran morging into shit and all this other stuff going on, I think that's a letdown. So I think you have to balance it. I think you will have these very human elements, sort of the gritty, realistic stuff, sort of married with the fantastical sort of, I want to say set pieces, but you know, the storytelling tropes that have this grandiose thing. In its early days, Game of Thrones stayed away from the big symbolic shit, but it's slowly gotten there. I mean, when they did episode season 4, Battle on the Wall, I forget what it was called, but it was the first huge epic night battle on the wall, and this was the first time we actually got to see these big. We saw they had that anchor. What do they call it? The scythe. Is that what they called it? I forget what they called it. And they let that go, and it went. I mean, you didn't see stuff like that on the show before. It was like, whoa, what is going on? Suddenly, we're like watching Clash of the Titans. I don't think they're going to go full Clash of the Titans, but they've stepped toward it enough so much that people are going to expect some sort of, you know, showmanship, I suppose. But would they move away from the personal storytelling? No, it's going to be a marriage of both.
This is going to be our final question.
What?
Paige M is asking, how many episodes do you think Cersei will live? And what's up with Brienne of Tarth?
Tartha.
Well, first of all, I have predicted, despite Nikolai making me doubt myself in his that he's a professional. He's an actor. They're paid to lie.
He's an actor.
Yes. An actor. But he's I still say Cersei dies last episode of this season. So 7 episodes is my guess for Cersei. Brienne, man, again, you know, being a Brienne Jaime shipper, I just sort of hope they grow old together and are in matching rocking chairs on some porch at the age of 80, just bickering with each other mercilessly.
What show have you been watching, Kenny? This is Game of Thrones.
You asked me what I wanted, okay? What do I think will happen? I think Brienne will die a horrible freaking death. She's gonna die. They'll take her from me. You wanted what I think and what I want. Those are 2 different things.
Okay, Kenny. Well, folks, that's the last one. Last question we'll have for today. We will see you next month for another monthly GOT chat.
Yeah.
And we might even have a surprise then. We're not going to spoil it. We're not going to spoil it. We're not going to spoil it. No.
Yeah, so sorry if we didn't get through all the questions, but it's been almost an hour now.
My Twitter, and I will answer you vaguely as I usually do.
Tweet it at Kenny at AxeTrucker. We'll add the
links are the R already.
Yeah, added in the description. Yeah. Okay, so all his links are in the description.
So go follow. Go follow this fool.
Did I neglect to pimp Watchers on the Wall? By the way, did I neglect to do that?
Yes.
Okay. Well, go to WatchersOnTheWall.com for all your Game of Thrones news and information. WatchersOnTheWall.com is your foremost site for Game of Thrones news and information. Period.
Is that it? You got it?
That's it. That's the site. I still write for them.
Yep.
I spend more time with you guys probably, but you know, Twitter posts are popular. Those are coming back when the season starts. So
awesome. Well, whenever that happens.
Sometime this year.
Yeah, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will see you next month for another one. And bye, Kenny. As always, thank you. And all right. Kenny's true form. Kenny's true form. All right, everyone. Bye. Bye. Bye.